So according to the primary goal, OS as an extended machine. We already discussed about what is the difficulty in the hardware and why the user is not able to utilize the hardware directly. It is very difficult. So that's the reason why the user needs some beautiful interface. So that's for that the operating system will be utilized, and operating system is utilized in such a way that it will create a beautiful interface for the user. Yes, we'll discuss application programs. We'll discuss in the next. No, next. So it's an operating system is an extended machine. So we'll call it as top-down approach. So in top-down approach, the actual complexity will be totally hide, and it will create a simple and user-friendly environment. That's the reason why operating system is called extended machine. And next one. Operating system, not only it is not sufficient your operating system is user friendly, it should be also a resource manager. So what resources it has to manage: processor, memory, timer, networking, and IO devices, everything. These are all the resources that are available in the computer system. So operating system has to manage all these resources. So we already discussed two different approaches to utilize the resources as maximum as possible. Can you please respond? So what are the two major concepts in chat box? Please respond in chat box. Chat box is available? What are the two concepts? With that, you can manage the resources efficiently. Exactly. It's very good. Two concepts. One is Emma, is there any problem in this presentation? Are you getting my voice, and everything is okay? So if anybody is feeling bad or anything, you can respond. Okay. So we discussed in the last class two concepts. One is time multiplexing and space multiplexing. Okay. So in the time multiplexing, now the time multiplexing, you can share the resource based on the time. Each and every slice of time, the user can utilize that resource and he'll go out, and like that. In the space multiplexing, the total space will be divided into different blocks, and then some of the blocks will be utilized by some person, another set of blocks will be utilized by some other person at a time. I mean simultaneously, so that they can able to utilize the resources effectively. So this is the block diagram, so you can utilize. IO devices. Is IO device okay? Is IO device is possible to multiplex? Is IO device is possible to multiplex? Please respond in chat box. Is IO device is possible to multiplex? No, sir, because it is a software. No, IO device. I'm telling that is IO device is possible to multiplex. That means you can multiplex means more than one process can share the resource. Is clear? So here one major aspect is there. there are two types of resources. One is shareable resource, and another one is non-shareable resource. Okay, if the resource is shareable, then you can make it multiplex. If the resource is not shareable, then it is not possible to multiplex, because for example, a printer is shareable or not shareable? Is printer is shareable? Is printer is shareable? Yes. Is a printer is not shareable because it will do only one functionality at a time. Is clear? If the user is trying to print something, whatever the task that was given by the user, till the completion of the task, no other person is allowed. Is it clear? If it is allowed, then printer will print my page one, my page as one page, and the other users page as another page, like that. So it is difficult. It is not possible. It is not possible, and it is not worthwhile. So a printer is not the shareable resource. So you cannot multiplex the time multiplex the uh, printer, or space multiplex the printer. It is not possible. So it should be in queue. The queue has to follow first in, first out. Is it clear? First in, first out.
Yeah.
Is it clear? B9 to B9.
Yes, sir.
Who is that?
Sir.
Okay. You have any question?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Is it clear? So time multiplexing and space multiplexing is not possible to apply in all the components. It depends. It depends on the behavior of the hardware component. So okay, you will see different components. Okay. So now this is very important to understand the computer system. The computer system can be divided into 4 components. One is hardware, which is computer hardware. Another one is operating system. And another very important thing is application software. This is application software. Then next one is users. Next one is users. Okay. Computer system, and next one is users. So now the computer hardware, we already discussed what are the different computer hardware, disk, tape, memory, everything. Maybe they may have the external devices. External devices means IO devices. IO devices are connected to the system. So whatever the components that are connected to the system will comes under the computer hardware. Then next stage is operating system. Operating system, it is also a software. We already discussed it is also a software. So if it is an operating system is a software, what it has to do? It has to control the computer hardware. So operating system is a bundle of programs. Is it clear? It's a bundle of programs. So program means software, and these bundle of programs are trying to control the computer hardware. Is it clear? That's the reason why it is called system software. It is very important. Whatever the software, it is trying to manage or control or operate the computer hardware directly, and it is having the full privileges to interact with the computer hardware. A piece of software is having a direct are permissions or direct permissions to interact with the computer hardware. We call it as system softwares. So whatever the bundles of programs, maybe you already experienced if you are trying to uh, uh, install your operating system in your system. It takes time. Number of programs will install in your system. So what are all those? They are the programs, the simple programs, software programs. It may be implemented in C, or it may be implemented in C++, or it may be implemented in Java. Okay, so bundle of programs will be installed in your system. Okay, so once the bundle of programs are installed in your system, in your specific partition, it will store, and once if you are trying to start your operating system, it will execute and it will become the process. So those software pieces is having the full privileges to access the computer hardware. That's the reason it is called system softwares. And the system software is having another aspect, another very important thing is, it will take the input from application software, or it is also having the property to take the input from directly from the user. Okay, it may take the input from the application software, or it may take the input from directly user, and it will give the output to the application program, or it may give the output to the user. Okay, system software, the first property is system software will directly talk with the hardware because it is having the full privileges, it is having the full permissions. And second property is the system software will take the input from applications of application program. We'll see what do you mean by application program. It will take the output from input from the application program, and it will use the output to the same application program. Or your system software will take the input from the directly from the user, or it may take and it will use the output to the same user. Okay, that is the another very important aspect of system software. So operating system is a bundle of system softwares, and they are interconnected. How the bundles of system softwares will be interconnected, we'll discuss in the operating system structure. We'll discuss in the operating system structure at the end of this chapter. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Please respond in chat box. Is clear? Is software system software is clear? Is system software is clear? Why the operating system is a bundle of system software? Why it is called system software? Because a piece of software is having the full privileges to communicate directly with the computer hardware. If your piece of software is not a system software, no other software is not allowed to communicate directly with the computer hardware. So what do you mean by that? Operating system is the only software is having the eligibility to interact with the computer hardware. Is it clear? So system software will give the input to the computer hardware, and he knows everything. So system software knows everything about the computer hardware, and how to give the input to the computer hardware, and how to get the output from the computer hardware. So everything is known to the system software. And it is also knows that how to take the input from the application software, and how to take the input from the user, and how to give back the output from output to the application program or user. Is clear? So that we'll call it as system software. Then application software. Application software is also a software. It will run on top of the operating system. It will run on top of the operating system. Here, please remember, the operating system is a bundle of the system softwares, and on top of that, application programs will run. Application programs or the programs, software programs, which will act as interface for the user, because it will take the output input from the user, and whatever the functionality that was required is created by the user through the application program. Very simple. A very simple example for the application program is C editor. For example, if I want to add two numbers, is it possible? Myself is not possible to directly communicate with the RAM and directly communicate with the CPU and directly communicate with the other components, keyboard and monitor, everything, because I have to give two numbers, A and B, A value 2, B value 3. Is it clear? So it is myself is not possible to directly interact with the hardware and add A plus B equal to C equal to A plus B. So it is very, very difficult because you already experienced in your MP microprocessor. Okay, so it is very difficult. You should know about the assembly language, and some code book is there. You have to know what is the hardware that was there, and from where to where you have to keep the program, where to where you have to keep the program. Like maybe you already experienced 1010 CMP, compare, move, like that. Okay, add or different programs are. Okay, so you have to know about all the commands, as well as you have to type your commands in a specific order with addresses. You should know the address where you are keeping your command. So where the next command is, in which memory location your next command is placed, in the next, like that. So it is very difficult to remember everything, because nowadays the computer system is very complex, and you are doing very complex functionality. So in the microprocessor age, directly the user is trying to use the microprocessor to do very simple calculations. So in those days it may not be the problem, but now we are using, the user is trying to use to implement very complex applications. So it is very difficult to remember each and every memory locations and type your commands, and you have to design your own logic, and you have to frame your own logic. It is very, very difficult to implement all these things. So for that, the user is having flexibility to write his own program in his own language. Okay, either it may be C language, or it may be Java, or it may be anything, or he wants to store some data, text editors, and compiler and assembler is trying to convert your C language into machine understandable code, because in microprocessor you have to convert the code into machine level language. But because of the operating system, the total complexity, everything will be taken care by the operating system. You have to write your own lengthy program, complex algorithms, to just with the help of the application software. Is it clear? So application software is a software which will run on top of the system software. Is it clear? Application software is a software which will run on top of the system software, and is having it will provide the flexibility for the user to write his own logic in his own language. Flexible language. So whatever the user knows in his own language, means in his own language means, I mean C language, Java language, whatever it may be. whatever the software he knows. So in that he can able to write a program. It may be a simple program or complex program. The user doesn't bother about where to keep the commands, everything. So doesn't bother. Is clear? So he will apply. He will try to write something on his own language, and it will be submitted. And the application software will try to utilize compiler and assemblers, and maybe your application may be database management system, or it may be your text editor, or it may be a browser, or it may be some other C editor. So whatever it may be. So all these things will be provided for the user. Okay, user can directly communicate with the softwares, and he can do their own functionalities. He can design their own functionalities in that by using that application software. For example, I'm trying to interact with you through this Zoom. Zoom is an application software. Zoom is a application software, and my operating system is Windows 10. Is it clear? Zoom is running on Windows 10, and I doesn't bother what is the configuration of my system, what is the network, and how my network is connected to your system's network, who is your operating system, and everything. I don't bother. So my thing is, I have an interface. I will follow that interface. What interface I am having? The interface which was provided by the Zoom. Is clear? So, hello, A0 to A0. Is there any problem? 2A0.
Sir. So, okay, sir. No problem, sir.
No problem. Okay. Is my voice is clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So application software, Zoom is my interface, and I'm trying to interact with the through Zoom, and with the help of the with the assistance of operating system, I'm trying to utilize all my resources. Modem. Through modem, I'm trying to get all your connections. The operating system is providing all your details to supply to the Zoom, and Zoom is providing interface to me. And with the help of that interface, I'm trying to. So I doesn't bother whatever the things that are happening in the background. So I don't want. Is it clear? So that is the main beauty of the program operating system. That means system software. Here the system software is having the having one module that how to manage the modem, whether the modem is connected to the outside world or not, and everything will be controlled by the one module of system software, and another modules in the system software, or trying to manage the CPU, trying to manage the RAM, trying to manage the hard disk, trying to manage other components like monitor, keyboard, and video, everything. Is clear? So I am not controlling the video, I am not controlling the monitor, I am not controlling the pen drive, or I am not controlling the keyboard. Everything will be controlled by the system software. Is it clear? So system software is trying to provide a platform. I'm the user. System software is providing the total platform for me, and on top of that platform, I'm trying to utilize the application software, for example, Zoom. And user is myself. User is myself. So hardware and user are the both both ends, extreme ends. Hardware is an extreme end and user is another extreme end. In between hardware and user, sorry, in between the hardware and user, there are again two layers. Operating system, you can say that it is in a system software, and another layer is called application software. You can call it as it will run on the system software. Sometimes the user can directly communicate with the hardware by using system softwares. Example is like your command line interface. Okay, with the help of the command line interface, you can directly communicate with the operating system. So there you need not have the application software, because if you are the technical person, and you know all the commands, how to interact with the operating system, you can just have a simple interface. With the help of that interface, you can communicate directly with the operating system, not the hardware. Please remember. Okay, so without application software, you can communicate directly with the hardware. You can communicate directly with the hardware through operating system, or system software. Okay, remember that a user is not allowed to directly communicate with the hardware. Directly communicate with the hardware without the system software. Okay, so now we will try to establish the difference between the computer system software and application software. So please try to see this. Computer software designed to provide a platform to other softwares. Here the other softwares means computer software designed to provide a platform to other software. Here the other software means other softwares. Means system software. Sorry, other software means application software. Next, software designed to perform a group of coordinated functions, tasks, or activities for the benefit of the user. Like I already told you. Now my purpose is that I interact with you through Zoom. Okay, Zoom is an application software. So my functionality is to interact with you. So with the help of the system software, I'm doing some task. What is the task? Interacting with you. I'm trying to present my subject. Is it clear? So my topic, I'm trying to discuss my topic with you. So that is the application software. So manages resources and helps to run hardware and application software. Is it clear? System software will manages the resources. I already told you, manages the resources. Now the system software is Windows 10. It is managing my mic or monitor, keyboard, and CPU, RAM, everything is managed by the system software. Is it clear? As well as it is managing the Zoom. Is it clear? As well as it is managing the Zoom. So which software is managing hardware as well as the application program? We can say that it is a system software. So this is the point. Next, application software performs a specific task according to their type. Zoom will do interaction with you. Browser will do some browsing some data. C editor will do is used to write the C program. Some Java editor will do their own job. Is it clear? Some Windows MS Word will do their own job. Paint will do their own job. Is it clear? All these things will come under application software. Every application software is having their own purpose. So based on that purpose, so what is the time? Based on the purpose.
46.
Please, 9. Okay, 9:46. No problem. Okay, based on the purpose, I'll try to. Okay, based on the purpose, it will be designed. Next, runs system software runs when the sorry. Runs when the system starts and run till the end. Okay, this is very important. System software runs when the system starts. Here the system means computer, and runs till the end. So till the shutdown, your system software will run. This is very, very important. So because it has to manage each and every component of the computer hardware. So it has to start at the time of system starts, and it has to complete its functionality if your system is switched off. Is it clear? So that is the system software. Runs when the user requests. So if I want to write a program, I have to C program. I will start the C editor and I will do it and I will close it. No need to run till the end of the computer system. Okay, developer using the language like C, C++, assembly, and develop using languages. So essential for proper functionality of the system. So it is essential for the proper functionality of the system. That means a computer system. Not extremely important for the functionality of the system. Here, the application programs, application software is not meant for proper utilization of the system, a computer system. It is meant for what? Why it is meant for? It is meant for this. Application software is meant for application software is meant for, please respond in chat. So to implement the application only. Okay, it is to implement the application only. It is not for the system. It is user specific. User ki ఏ functionality అయితే కావాలో దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకుని he can able to utilize it. Okay, then example, operating systems, language processors, and device drivers. I'll tell you what do you mean by device driver, what do you mean by language processors. So all these things will come under system softwares. What do you mean by device driver? We'll discuss in detail. So you know device driver, but what it will do, why it is needed, we'll discuss in detail in the next coming classes. Okay, next, application software is word processor. That means already MS Word, spreadsheet, presentation, maybe PPT, and web browser, graphics software, like this. So number of things will be there. So these are the different system software and application. This is very, very important interview point of view. What is the difference between system software and application software? System software is a software which is used to control the computer hardware directly. Okay, and also it will interact with the application softwares. Is it clear? So how it will interact with the hardware as well as the application software? Whatever the input that the user wants to give, that input will be given to the application software. Application software will give the input to the system software. System software will give the input to the computer hardware, and according to the input, computer hardware will do the functionality, and the output will be given to the system software. Again, the system software will give the output to the application software, and application software will give the input to the output to the user. So this is how the hierarchy, the flow of information will be done in the computer system. Is it clear? So if you want to discuss in this direction, so if you want to see in this direction, top-down approach, complexity will be hidden, and very simple interface will be available to the user. in view of the bottom up approach, the complexity will be is maximum in the bottom, and simple or very user friendly is available for the user. And application software will be always in the user side, and system software is always on the hardware side. Is clear? So application software in the user side, and system software is on the hardware side, computer hardware side. Is clear? So why the system software is both are softwares. Here a system software is also software, application software is also a software, but this software, why it became the system software, why this software is became the application software. Okay, so we'll discuss in the next class. So we have two different modes: kernel mode or supervisory mode, privileged mode or monitor mode, and next one is user or unprivileged mode. These are the two modes become the two different pieces of bundles of softwares, two different bundles of softwares. Okay, so I'll stop here. So because the next class is SAR is waiting. So thank you very much. Any doubt? Any doubt? Please, can you to perform some specific tasks? If you want, you can ask stuff.
Sir.
71.
Sir. Sir, ఇది PPT week కి ఒకసారి PPT అంటే షేర్ చేయండి సార్.
Your voice is not clear. Please speak loudly. PPT share cheyala?
Sir. Hello sir.
చెప్పండి.
గూగుల్ క్లాస్ రూమ్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు కదా సార్ ఒకసారి ఎగ్జామ్స్ కి, అందులో పెడితే అందరికి వెళ్ళిపోద్ది కదా సార్.
ఏదండి గూగుల్ క్లాస్ రూమా?
సార్ అప్పుడు ఎగ్జామ్స్ కి
మీరు అనేది PPT గురించా?
సార్ PPT
లేదు, మీకు ఆల్రెడీ ఇది ఒకటి ప్రాసెస్ లో ఉంది. ఏంటంటే ఇది మీన్ ఇది MCL ఆల్రెడీ ప్రాసెస్ లో ఉంది. మేబీ 2 to 3 days లో అది లాంచ్ అవుతుంది. మొత్తం మీ మెటీరియల్స్ అన్ని కూడా దాంట్లోకి అప్లోడ్ చేసేస్తాం. ఓకే, ఆల్ ద రిసోర్సెస్ విల్ బి అవైలబుల్ మేబీ విత్ ఇన్ 2 or 3 days.
ఓకే సార్.
సో వీక్లీ వన్స్ కూడా కాదు, మీకు ఏదైతే మేము ఈ వీక్ లో ఏదైతే మీకు ప్రెజెంట్ చేస్తా ఉంటామో ఆ పర్టికులర్ PPT ముందే ప్లేస్ చేసేయాలి మీకు. ఓకే, ఆ PPT ముందే ప్లేస్ చేస్తాం. సార్ వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నట్టున్నారు. కేసన్ సార్ లాస్ట్ నెక్స్ట్